Hey guys, just going to do a quick little follow-up to my last review about the Reebok Realflexes. I've had these for 5 months now, so a little bit more of an accurate representation of what to expect out of these shoes now that I've been using them for a while. I'm just going to say right away, I'm not as happy with them anymore as I was. When I first did my first video, I had used them a few times and they felt great, but after using them now for 5 months, every day I take them to and from work, and it's maybe a 30-minute walk on pavement. It's changed how I feel about them. I still really like them, but I'm going to be honest, I'm actually leaning towards the Nike Frees now that they're in the third gen. I actually really like those, so I might be giving those a shot. But I'll tell you a little bit about what I've noticed with these shoes. A big problem I've noticed is that there's really no support on the top, and that was originally really cool because I wanted more of a barefoot type of feel, but the sole actually is a really stiff compound, and when your foot tries to move side to side, it just slides off the top of it, and the sole doesn't move with it. So that's a bit of a problem. Your foot actually slides off the sole side to side, with the fabric being so flimsy. I mentioned in my first video that they're narrow. It's starting to become a problem. It's not that bad. I've always kind of not really liked that they're so narrow. I've got a wider foot, so I know the Nike Frees are wider, so they might help me with that. The tongue moves around a lot. It's not actually fixed in there at all. It's, I think, right down at the bottom. Yeah, it's mounted right to the bottom, so as you're walking, I find that it kind of slides over. That's not a big deal. It just kind of bugs me. It's just kind of a pet peeve of mine when you finish your run or your walk and your tongue's like way over here, so whatever. And then as far as these being a barefoot type shoe, it's great because you get sort of that feel, but if you're someone who wants to actually barefoot run, these are not really going to give you a real feeling of that, because you can't land on your forefoot like we're actually supposed to when we're barefoot. Because this sole is angled, it's thicker up here and it's thinner up here, you don't really have much of a choice but to heel strike, because you actually have to be coming really far forward in your foot to be able to clear the extra material in the back here, if that makes any sense. So you don't really have much of a choice to heel strike. I found it really awkward to try to come down on my forefoot. So that's something that an even sole would help, right? And that's where my Vibram 5 fingers are awesome. It's the same thickness all the way through, but these are thicker at the back and they're thinner up front, more like a conventional shoe in that way. That being said, there's still some really awesome things about this shoe, and I still really like it. The sole is awesome. It's excellent for impact protection. I have tried on the Nike Frees a few times with the 5.0 sole, and it's soft and it's really comfortable, but I feel like if I jumped off something, it wouldn't offer as much protection, shock absorption, if you will. The compound in here is a lot harder than the Nikes, and I find that if I jump or run around that way, it's excellent for shock absorption. That's something really good about these. They're also well ventilated. I talked about that in my first video. I've gone out on some cold mornings and actually my feet were really cold, because you're just getting so much airflow through here, which is really good, right? And as soon as you start moving, it's not a problem. So that's been really good, and my feet aren't sweating when I'm running in these, so that's good. And last thing is they wear really well. I've used these for 5 months every single day, and they kind of look like they're still brand new. I'm actually really surprised. They're really thin shoes, so you kind of think that they're going to fall apart, but looking around, they're still looking almost brand new. They're maybe just slightly dirty, but I haven't taken these off road at all, so there's not really much dirt or anything. But the sole is almost like it's brand new, and the top, nothing's fraying or coming apart. So I still think these are a really great shoe. I really like them, and I'm still going to use them. I'm probably going to get myself a set of Nike Frees as well now that they're in the third generation. I really like them, and with the even sole, I could probably get a little bit more of that barefoot feel, which is which is kind of what I'm going for. And it's a bit more of a spongy bottom to the Nikes, which is going to be nice. I feel like I'm not going to be able to, get as much absorption when I'm jumping around and stuff like that. Just doing that in the store, I've found that to be a concern, but that's where these are really good. So, maybe I'll keep both and should be good. So there you go. There's my thoughts 5 months later.